to give everybody out there listening a very warm Whitecat welcome, because you're tuned in to the Whitecat Outdoors podcast. Nick's sitting over here trying to hold up his fingers because I can never remember what episode it is, and I was still very confused on what he was doing. He's, holding up 2-4. I'm like, I don't know what the hell you're doing right now, but apparently it's episode 24. So
that's right, 24.
Yeah, so happy Sunday if you're listening the day it's released. If not, maybe it's Monday. So happy Monday. If it's not that, then
happy Tuesday.
Yeah, happy whatever day it is.
Tom, what happy day would you want it to be?
I like Fridays.
Fridays are good days, but
Hawaiian shirts and Whitecat Outdoors podcast. How can you beat that?
Yeah, but it doesn't really matter what day you're listening on. It just matters that you're listening, and we appreciate that you guys are listening. So thanks a lot for tuning in, and we love you. Another thing you guys should be listening to, our buddy, Hunter Klobucar. You guys probably remember him.
Episode 4.
Episode 4, a while back. He has started his own podcast. It's called the Outdoors Greatest Podcast. He just released his first episode this past week, so go check it out. It's good stuff, and yeah.
Yeah, he's on Spotify and YouTube as of right now.
Yeah, so
I know he's talking about getting on some more, but...
Mm-hmm.
So, Tom, what are we talking about this week?
This week, guys, we got a really cool episode coming out for you. We are talking about how we are specifically working our land up at the headquarters for over the summer for deer season coming up here, October 1st. It's already in my sights, and I'm getting excited for it. It's a year-round process preparing for deer season, and we're going to go through the steps of what we're doing this summer.
What phase are we in for land preparation, Tom?
I'm going up this weekend to mow.
What phase is that?
Yeah, I mean, so you've got like tree stand trimming, you've got, planting season, which we may be in. That's what I was getting at. So there's all sorts of different things you got to do throughout the year, and I was just curious of...
Yeah, well, so obviously right after deer season, you got your post-season scouting to, see what bucks made it through the season. And then that takes you pretty much right into turkey season, and then once turkey season starts, I kind of lay off the deer hunting aspect anyway.
I would hope you lay off the deer hunting during turkey season.
Deer preparation.
If you say, yeah, we're going to have a talk after this podcast if that's the case.
But, yeah.
Stop enabling poachers, Tom.
Turkey season just ended, so I'm ready to start preparing for deer season again. And first step is I got to go up there and mow the certain areas where I would like to plant food plots this year in different fields and whatnot. So the first thing... Is that good?
That's going to be unnecessary.
It's a good adult beverage, I tell you that. Please, go on.
So
it's like apple juice.
Up there this year, it's in the middle of Amish country.
You should try sipping that a little louder, Tom.
And there's already a lot of cornfields up there. So we have the luxury of not having to plant corn because everybody else already does that for us. All of our neighbors have corn.
Yeah, we wouldn't really benefit from just putting more corn on our field, really.
Yeah, what we are trying to do is give the deer something they can't get on every other piece of property.
Gotta set yourself apart a little bit.
Yeah, so after a while, these deer, they're going to get tired of eating corn, and they're going to want to come over to our piece where there's soybeans, because we're the only soybean field that's going to be around. And how we're setting this up is along our one field, along the wood line, we're planting, it's a long, skinny piece that's going to be no more than 50 yards wide and a couple hundred yards long. It's going to be about 2 acres worth. And the reason we're doing that versus like a big square field out in the middle is so that you can actually bow hunt this stand. Because deer typically, when they come out into a field, they feed and kind of filter through the food plot. They're not going to stand in one spot and eat. So if you have, a big 6-7 acre bean field, that deer could go out and filter out into the middle, and you're watching them a couple hundred yards.
Yeah, they could end up anywhere.
Yeah, but if you have a 40-50 yard strip that's super long, then odds are they're going to filter down past you at some point during your hunt.
So with it being only 50 yards wide, but still 2 acres, it's going to be a pretty long food plot. And I was curious, obviously you're gonna have to watch the pattern of the deer and when they're coming out and stuff. Is there any stands you'll be using to try and be able to move up and down that field while you're working?
Yeah,
area.
So I'm going mobile this year. I got hooked up with
That's a pretty leading question, Nick. Way to
You
go.
like that?
Yeah, I got hooked up with the XOP stand with some climbing sticks that I'm really excited to test out this archery season. I would like to get up there actually before the season starts and just watch from the road, so I can see where they're coming out without actually being in the woods and getting my scent in there. Because really, after September 1st, I don't like to step foot in the woods at all. I like to give it a good solid month of not being in there to really let things settle down, get my scent out of there, because I do spend a lot of time up there, prepping beforehand. So yeah, I'll definitely get up there and watch from the road, watch where they come out with binoculars and glass them, and try and get a pattern on them that way. Also in that field, we are going to do clover, chicory, brassica, and radishes. And the radishes and brassica, that's going to be like a late season food plot.
Are you going to take some pictures like Keith did?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you better believe it.
Laying nice and sexy in the radishes?
Yeah.
I think that is the key to making a good food plot, is taking some sexy photos.
Of course.
Like some good centerfold type ones.
I'm starting to think here. Brain's starting to turn. We could do a Whitecat calendar out in the food plot this year.
Yeah.
I like that.
But yeah, the key to that is planting.
The calendar?
Well,
You have to plant the calendar.
You got to plant the food plot to take
the pictures.
takes
of
the
course.
pictures for the calendar, and you can't plant a good food plot without the proper attire.
Yeah, go over PPE while planting.
You're gonna want leather boots, high leather boots with white socks extending up past the leather.
All the way to the knee or between?
But it could go all the way up to the knee if
Could
you
go
want.
above if you had them.
Wow.
And then you're gonna want some cut off jean shorts, preferably the shorter the better.
Of course.
If your underwear is hanging out below the jeans, that's how you know they're short enough. And
Then take another inch off.
Yeah.
What if I wear like old whitey tighties?
Better
You're
keep
gonna have to
cutting.
be really short. You definitely want your pockets sticking out below. That's a good rule of thumb. As long as the bottom of your pockets are visible, that should be plenty short. And then you're gonna want a cool T-shirt. I actually got a pretty sweet T-shirt I'm super excited about. It's Donald Trump wrestling a bull in front of Ted Nugent playing guitar. So I think that's really going to produce some good radishes and good food.
It's going to show that those radishes you mean business. You're going to
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I like
actually,
it.
behind Ted Nugent, fireworks are going off.
Of course, naturally.
So
I'm sure they're red, white, and blue.
Yeah, and then I like to have Pit Viper sunglasses and a bandana or an old trucker hat of some sort.
Maybe even a
Really?
Whitecat hat.
Yeah, a Whitecat hat.
We
would
do have trucker hats, so
A Whitecat trucker hat would be
Ideal.
I'm actually wearing one right now.
Me too.
And it would be perfect for planting. So yeah, you get your boots, your short shorts, cool cut-off T-shirt, some Pit Vipers, and cool hat attire. You're all ready to plant.
That's gonna produce.
Yeah. And another thing is when you're planting, if you're using like a whirly bird on the back of a tractor or a four-wheeler, that's fine. But if you do it old school, like we do with like the hand seeder, you got to make sure you're getting those knees way up close to your chest when you're walking through the field. That really, really helps.
we could. I think I have a video to show that form. I'll post Sunday with it.
Form is key. Because you don't want to be dragging your feet through the dirt and kicking up the seeds you just laid down, so you really got to
Stomp it
hike
in.
them up there and
Stomp them in as you. Yeah. It's dual purpose.
Yeah.
You know, keep your feet out of the dirt so you're not throwing seeds everywhere, and pack them down when your feet come down. So
And you can't forget about the third thing. You look great doing it.
that's true.
Yeah. If you're one of those people that are like thirsty for likes on Instagram, get a photo of yourself doing that and numbers will be through the roof.
That is very true. One thing I do want to do on that clover field that I've never done before, but Owen had mentioned it. I'd like to. He talked about like an observation fence, and basically what it does is you fence off a small area and it shows like how much the food plot's getting browsed. And I'd like to do a small section of that and just see what happens. Like I said, I've never done it before. Actually, Owen was the first I've ever even heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd just be. I know that there's plenty of deer up there.
Oh,
I'd just
yeah,
be
for
kind of
sure.
curious to see
How often they're getting into the food plot.
Yeah, because I mean, I know we've always had, or we have this inclination that we want to box off the road to keep it more secluded. It'd be neat to try and see what it does over the years, as that front grows up and blocks that field off. So take some time to get back to you on that one, but it's coming.
That
5 years from now,
week.
you'd be like, hey, remember episode 23 when we didn't even know what we were doing?
Are you
24?
stupid? It's 24.
24. Hey, Patrick.
You shut up. 25.
Yeah, you'd be like, back when they didn't know what they were doing. They still don't, but
Yeah.
like episode 3 million, it'd be wild.
I don't think we have enough weeks for 3 million episodes, Nick.
Yeah, we better start cranking them out a little bit faster.
Yeah, I would say so.
But anyways, yeah. So I do want to try that out in Tom's smorgasbord that he's planning out there this year.
Yeah. So
How big do you plan on making the clover and such?
Basically, here's what's going to be. It's going to be 2 acres of corn, or not corn, soybeans.
You're already
And then-
messing it up.
And then
I don't know if I'm going to hunt it.
Yeah, you won't because I'm going to be hunting it. Then I'm going to do half acre of clover and a half acre of brassica mixed with radishes.
Are you going to have them just side by side, or are you going to separate them on opposite sides of the field?
So the bottom, the field, there's 2 straight hedgerows that kind of come down into a point at the bottom, and at the bottom is where I'm going to do my clover, and then on the side opposite from the beans, there's this little jog that comes out, and around that jog, I'm going to do like a 90-degree angle food plot. And then I'm going to hunt a stand at that point coming out into the food plot, because when deer come out into a food plot that's that shaped, it's very natural for them to want to see what's on the other side. So odds are they're going to filter right out in front and check what's on that other side. So they don't know as I'll be there waiting for them.
With an arrow in the side.
Right. And that's going to be my late season food plot. So that's going to be the turnips or radishes and brassica. And that really gets hot after a first frost, and then all that sugar comes up to the leaves and everything, and that they're really going to like that. So basically how we have it set up is the soybeans are going to be our early season, and then clover is going to be kind of like a early archery season, like mid archery season, until you get that first frost, and then that's when they're going to be hitting the brassica and the radishes. And then come wintertime, after we get snow, they're still going to be in the radishes, but they're also really going to be hitting the beans again. Mm-hmm. So we got that covered. And then up on our other field, I'm going to do a food plot that's just a mix of the clover, the brassica, and the radishes. And that's going to be about an acre food plot up in actually the same field that the cabin's
I didn't even
on.
know you were doing that one.
Yeah, remember where we jogged off that
The
hedgerow
trees?
where
Yeah.
I said in a couple years we should do one here? Well, I'm gonna do
Skipping
one.
out the couple years
Yeah, we're
and
just gonna do
cut
one.
2, now there's a food plot.
Yeah, because every good hunting camp needs a hangover stand where you drank too much the night before.
Well, that doesn't happen at our cabin, though.
Well, it does.
Well,
So every good camp needs that stand that's like
Right
less
there.
than 100 yards from camp, where you just
pretty much just sit there just to be out in the woods.
yeah
Real low to the ground. You don't want to get up too high in one of those.
yeah probably gonna be a ladder stand.
Probably a double. Good for naps, nice and safe.
Yeah, with a good shooting rail that you can lean up on.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then this is my favorite one. A hidden food plot in the woods. That's where
Those
magic
are the
happens.
ticket. I'm all about those.
How do you expect the deer to find it if it's hidden, Tom?
Well, I tell
You don't hide it very well.
Yeah, you hide
Oh,
it
it's like a
in the
little
woods.
kid's Easter egg hunt.
Exactly.
Right. So
It's just kind of out in the open, but you tell them that it's hidden so they think it's something special.
right.
Ah,
And the best place.
kind of like the briar patch.
Now you're thinking.
My particular favorite place to put these hidden food plots is right close to the edge of bedding. So them deer, they don't have to go far to get to food, and there's actually a creek that runs right on the back side of where this food plot's going to be. So they're going to have food, shelter, and water all in one place, and it's going to be awesome. That's going to be another mixed batch of clover, brassica, and radishes to keep them there all season long. Give them a little smorgasbord for
Is that where you're talking? Are you talking about where we planted that buckwheat years ago, or up?
Yeah, right at
Okay.
the 200, as I like to call it.
Yeah.
Where I killed my buck in archery? Or?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm bringing that food plot back.
Oh,
Okay. I wasn't sure if you were talking there.
pretty wet
or-
there now.
No, I was actually there Sunday.
Oh yeah, it's not
Yeah.
that bad. I remember last fall it was a mess back there. It was really wet.
Me and Tom spread a lot of lime in that one.
I see.
Yeah, so she's doing good. Yeah, I walked it because I really liked that area, and it does kind of flood if you get like a huge downpour.
Yeah,
But
especially with the beavers there. But
I mean, do you think that like with that potential flooding, what you're planning will be able to like withstand that if we do get a flood?
well, it's not gonna be while it's growing. It's not gonna be flooding because like the only time it's really underwater is
I
in,
don't
like
really
the
hunt that side of the farm much. That's why I'm curious. I don't really know.
it's really
what it's
usually underwater in the spring.
yeah the
after a big
springtime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But in the summer, it's not bad, and it doesn't really get wet again until we start having the freeze and thaw and the snow and stuff in the winter time. So all growing season and archery, it'll be fine.
Yeah. So that's what we got going on. We just go to the local feed mill to get our seeds, and then we got 16, 16, 16 fertilizer that we do 100 pounds per acre, and we also do 100 pounds of lime per acre.
Now, do you mix those with Modelo's or anything, or keep them on the rind, or how do you spread the lime?
Oh, yeah. That was a great joke, Nick. So basically what we do is
You go in the coconut before.
you put the lime in the coconut and you shake it all about.
Gotcha.
Interesting.
No. So I'm going up there this weekend.
And the deer, do you put alcohol in the coconut? The deer like that, or
I think it's the rum.
Rum chata. But I'm going to go mow. And I'm going to cut it really nice and low as my brush hog will let it.
Is this operation take it to dirt?
Pretty much, yeah.
That was always a good operation.
Yeah, my old boss used to love that. You guys know I used to string trim over at the university, and about August I really got tired of string trimming. So I would just take everything to dirt. I just scalped the shit out of it, and
Operation Take It to Dirt
I
was in
didn't have to
effect.
weed whack anymore. Call it Operation Take It to Dirt. It worked really good. And you just blame it on the new guy.
It's a classic move.
No, seriously, yeah. So mow it, and then
You sound like a Midwest. Yeah, no, seriously, yeah.
yeah, no.
Oh, sorry.
But take her down, and then I like to wait about a week for that new growth to come up through all the stuff you cut that's laying down on top. And then I spray it with a heavy dose of Roundup to really kill it. And for it to really dry out, it takes about 2 weeks. And when you're spraying Roundup, you got to be careful. You can't do it on windy days because then it just gets everywhere and you breathe into it. Make sure you're wearing your mask and take all the proper precautions. Wear gloves so you don't get it on your skin. But yeah, spray it with Roundup on a nice bright sunny day. I think you need like 5 or 6 hours of direct sunlight for it to really
Take
work.
effect, yeah.
Yeah. So nice, bright, hot, calm day. It's going to be your best bet for spraying it. Wait about 2 weeks and it'll be brown as can be, dried all out.
Now, typically we would bring out the rototiller at this point, once it's died off. But we're trying something a little different this year.
As far as the beans go, yeah.
Yeah, that's I'm referring to the beans because that's the big plot. So do you want to talk a little bit about what we're doing this year that is different from the way most people, I guess, are probably planting beans now?
We're no-tilling this year. And basically the idea behind that is when you break the ground so much with a rototiller, you're letting out a lot of the nutrients that are in that soil. They kind of just get lifted up into air and
They evaporate.
yeah, kind of wasted. So if you can do a no-till, and basically how that works is you're more or less pulling a set of discs that are cutting a groove down into the dirt, and then you're planting the seeds in those grooves, and then there's another set of discs that roll it back over and then cultipack it. So basically the soil is undisturbed, so all those nutrients are going to be staying right in the soil, and then we go over top of that with the lime and the fertilizer, so then when you get a rain, all
Where's
that
the
dissolves.
coconut come in?
That's what you mix it all about with.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, you mix it in the coconut and then spread it on the field.
Yeah.
All right, sorry.
And then the rain works as the rum.
Yeah, then the rain is going to,
really shake things up.
yeah, get all that good stuff down into the root system of those plants, and you're going to have what do they call it? A bumper crop, I think? Bunker something?
I have no idea what you're
I'm
talking
lost. I don't know what you're
It's in that
saying.
one Craig Morgan song,
about. What?
What?
International Harvester. I'll look up the lyrics. Nick, take us away.
Well, I guess this would be a perfect time to talk about
You got that?
No,
It's such a perfect time you can't even remember it.
yeah. We were getting ready for opening weekend of Snakes.
Oh yeah, we were talking
so-
about that last weekend.
Yeah, we just talked about getting started.
Bumper crop. That's what I thought. Bumper crop. I mean, good
Can I
crop.
just finish?
I
one
mean,
damn
it's
story?
as tall as the bumper,
I would imagine, yeah, probably.
but the bumper of what? Because
Probably
like,
the tractor.
but like a sprayer, they're tall enough to go over top of corn. So like,
I don't know. If you got a good old bumper
Just real
crop,
quick,
you got a good
we're getting
crop.
ready for snake season. Back to you, Tom.
Bumper crop was the term I was looking for. That's how you know that's a term for a good crop.
How do you know that's a term for a good crop?
Look it up, Nick. I literally
it's
just
in
did.
International Harvest. He says
Craig
this
Morgan-
year ain't been no bumper crop. So
Yeah, and he's talking about it negatively, like, oh man, it hasn't been a bumper crop like years prior when we had
Darn.
good crop.
All right, you just keep going. I want to see if there's a definition for bumper crop.
Yeah, and when you look it up, share it
say
with
I'm
your
sure there's
friends.
not like a solid definition. It's probably
I'm
more
sure
like
it's on
a s-
Urban Dictionary.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably more like a slang thing. It's not like in Webster's dictionary. It's just like a farmer thing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, in agriculture, this is according to Wikipedia. In agriculture, a bumper crop is a crop that has yielded an unusually productive harvest. The word bumper in this context comes to the uses that mean something usually large, which is where this term comes from. So it is a positive term.
Yeah, that's-
but bumper does not mean your truck or planter or anything else.
Yeah.
Just meaning that it was a really good year. So we're hoping for a bumper crop.
Yeah, we're going to get a bumper crop this year.
Even though we're not harvesting it, the deer will be harvesting.
We should
Yeah.
get t-shirts that
and
say
we'll
get
be
bumped.
harvesting the deer.
Get bumped. I don't think we should do that.
It's thought.
So anyway, that's basically what we got going on in our New York piece. Back in our PA piece, the new farm, we got one food plot that's about an acre. And my dad, he's kind of taking charge on that. I'm not exactly sure what he's got a whole mess of. He's got like 6 acres worth of seeds to plant. Like,
Only
Nowhere to
2
put it.
acres to put it.
Well, see, and I've got that little box. I probably got about 1.5 to 2 acres, and I have no idea where to put it because you're just covering everything. So I might do a little no plow action.
Start throwing seed all over the woods.
Yeah, spread my seed everywhere.
but at the farm, we got that acre food plot that is going to be. My dad, he has clover, chicory, brassica, turnips.
Are these going to be like hidden
radishes.
food plots, or are they going to be
Yeah, this one's hidden. It's definitely hidden. It's
like
So
Easter
hidden.
egg hidden or actually hidden?
you can't see it from the road.
Oh
I'll
man!
tell you that. It's
So little kids aren't going to find this.
no. It's right in between hardwoods and bedding. There's bedding that it's probably 15 acres of nasty, thick swamp, red brush, goldenrod, just perfect bedding.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
That butts up right to hardwoods. And then we mowed this section, it's about an acre, right on the wood line. So it's a perfect transition right from hardwoods, food, bedding, all right there. So they're just going to come right out of that bedding.
You got the whole rum chowder right there.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. And then this is my favorite one coming up. We recently purchased, or I shouldn't say we, my dad recently purchased this land, and before he purchased it, the guy that owned it had it logged. So there's a couple areas that are
Oh man!
wide open, and all
Is there like a
around
lot
it-
of undergrowth, or is it
Not
No,
yet.
'cause it
was-
just got
he
logged.
Just got
Okay.
logged last year. So no, there's not a lot of undergrowth yet. There's
But it will be.
Oh.
There's still tops and shit.
still
laying all-
tops, yeah. So plenty of cover for deer. And there's this one spot in particular that's pretty open, and we're just gonna go in there and spread buckwheat like nobody's business. Because I don't know if you guys have planted buckwheat or not. It could grow on a rock in a cave. Like it.
Pretty hardy stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of a bit of an exaggeration, but we've dropped seed in our driveway, and it has grown in the driveway. So it grows.
Not quite a cave, but
Yeah,
Close enough.
But
There's rocks.
hyperbole is what that was.
whoa.
But yeah, it literally has grown in our driveway. So it should have no problem growing here. And that's going to be a super hidden food plot. Like deer.
You'll never find
Like
it.
the Holy Grail.
Yeah. So yeah, we're just going to spread a bunch of buckwheat in the middle of these tops where,
So, is there any good trees to get up in around there, or is that going to be more of like a ground blind area?
there's plenty of good trees. He only cut down like softwoods, like maples.
Gotcha. Soft maple.
Soft maple, yeah.
You can get some hardwood maple.
Still plenty of oak trees you can get. There's actually, believe it or not, a tree stand in there that I shot my first buck out of.
Whoa.
Yeah, back when I was 10. So that tree stand's there. You could gun hunt the.
How old are you now?
buckwheat.
23?
Yeah,
22.
22. 12 years ago.
That's a long time.
More like 11 and a half, but yeah. Wow, that is a long time. You
I know. I've thought about that before. Like,
I shouldn't remember things 10 years ago. Like, I feel like I was a child.
I know. I think that like my first deer I killed when I was 10 down in North Carolina. And, I think about it, I'm like, that was 15 years ago. Like, that's just crazy.
Seems like a couple hunting seasons ago.
I know, it really does. It doesn't seem like that long
I
ago.
refer to like the last buck I killed as always, oh yeah, last year.
Yeah.
Like when really it's
When you haven't killed a buck in I don't know how many years.
That's
two.
been a while.
I didn't kill one last year, but I did the year before.
I killed
so.
2 last year.
That's
Yeah,
true.
so
You did
I.
have a really good year.
I did.
One of them's sitting right on the table.
Yeah, it sure is right there.
Killed him with a 460.
I did. That was a good time. I just bought another pistol,
Oh
too.
my goodness! Yeah, I was just
We're getting
about to
kind of
say
off
that.
track here, but I'm
44 Magnum.
most powerful
And
handgun
in
in
the
the world.
whoa, my.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I don't know
Tell
when
us
it's...
about it, Frank, because I haven't really heard much about it either.
Well, it's a Smith 460 PD, 329 PD, and I was irritated when every
You said
time...
460.
Did I say that? Mm-hmm. 44, 329 PD.
Yep.
That's
There
the
you go.
one. But I go in there, and...
Yeah, don't name drop where you went.
No, I'm not...
but-
Yeah. So I walk in, and
Guy's standing there.
he's standing right there, standing behind the counter. And I says to the guy, I said, I want to order a pistol. And he's like, okay, what do you want? And I said, I want a Smith 329 PD 44 mag. He's like, all right, let me look that up for you. So he's looking it up, and this other guy comes walking up. And he looks at the computer screen, and he goes, oh, we got a 629 right over there in the case. You should buy that one. I was like, I don't want that. I want a 329 PD. And he's like, well, I don't know if you know this, but that's an air weight. That's going to be really light. It'll be a bastard to shoot. I was like, yeah, it'll be a packing gun for up in Alaska, so I want it to be light. And he's like, whatever, man, have fun. I was like, okay.
Great salesman.
Yeah, I was like, you're dumb. And the one that I wanted to buy was more expensive than the 629, so I was like, okay, you're stupid. Then another guy walks up, looks at the computer, and he goes, oh, man, that's a sick gun. He said, are you going bear hunting? I was like, no, I just go up to Alaska, so I just want it for like a packing gun. He's like, oh, that's the perfect gun for it. So this guy knew what was up. Then the other guy's still standing there. He goes, whatever. I was like, what are you doing, man? Get out of here. So needless to say, he did not sell me on the 629. I went with the 329 PD, and it hasn't come in yet, but I'm excited for it.
Tell us a little bit about the specs. Barrel length.
4-inch barrel. It only weighs 25 ounces, which is insane. Yeah.
That's pretty light.
Yeah, a lot. It'll be a great packing gun.
Like you said, I mean, it's a gun that you hope you never have to use.
Yeah, and
So it's
I
not-
actually said that to the guy. He was, he's like, yeah, it's going to be a bastard to shoot. I was like, if I'm having to shoot this gun, sore hands is going to be the least of my worries.
It's we were talking about that. I said, when you were telling me this story and stuff, I said, yeah, if you have to go back to camp and say, man, my hands really hurt, that's a
Yeah.
good day instead of like having your face stitched back on.
Yeah,
'cause you got mauled by a
exactly.
bear. So
Yeah.
if you can go back and complain about your hands being a little sore,
I'm all about it.
yeah, you're having a good day.
So anyway, yeah, that's my new pistol. Got off track there.
So we were way off track.
yeah.
Where were we? Tom, planting secret hidden food plots. Buckwheat. Grows in the caves.
Yeah, that's
cave
pretty much-
buckwheat.
Yeah. So buckwheat, that's a hot item late season, early season. They sure do love it, and I tell you what, turkeys can't get enough of it. So hopefully I'll bring some turkeys onto our piece, maybe get one with my
Get a
bow
little
in the
fall action going.
Yeah, that would be cool because
Speaking of killing turkeys with a bow, I tell you what.
It's
I've
tough
been-
stuff.
I chased him this year with a bow. Couldn't make it happen.
Something you want to say, Tom?
I do like that.
I do like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, Nick's over here chasing turkeys with his bow. Let me just give you a recap of
Oh, jeez.
my final, the last day of the season. Your last opportunity to get a turkey up in New York. Me and Nick, we get up, we go our separate ways. Nick's hunting on the bottom of the hill. I'm hunting on the top of the hill.
Were you at like the spot you and I scoped out after you missed that bird?
Kind of.
By like the hay bale?
Yeah, ish. In that neck of the woods. So, I'm out there hunting, right? And I don't hear anything on the roost. So I'm like, it's about time these birds should be flying down. So I let out a fly down cackle, and then I do some, clucking and soft yelps, a little bit of purring, and reel these two hens right into me. And they're out there. I'm like, that gobbler's got to be, close. And nothing. I waited for like an hour. Nothing else. So I'm like, I'm going to go down on the bottom. Texted Nick, see if he was seeing anything. And I didn't hear back from him. Like, maybe he's working a bird.
There's no service.
There's
on the
some
property.
service.
I was at the bottom, down by that little mini field in the middle.
There's not much service.
There's no service there.
There's not much.
That's irrelevant, honestly, because as I'm walking down the road...
So you're done hunting? Is that what you're getting at?
I was moving locations to the other side of the field.
Just quicker via
to go
road.
through the woods, and I didn't want to walk down the hill because I knew that's where you were supposedly hunting.
Well, yeah, people do know from past episodes we've talked about how Nick likes to say he's going one place and goes to another. So.
I don't like to tell people exactly where I'm going, because if I do, and then when I kill, which happens a lot, people are like, oh, I need to go hunt that area.
Just not this year or last year.
It's weird, though, because you've hunted on the farm up in New York for quite a number of years, never killed on your side, and me and Frank were just doing
I killed a turkey on my side. Actually, the only turkey we've ever killed.
This is deer talk.
You were literally telling a turkey story.
I know, right now this is deer talk.
Change subjects.
Credibility shot.
So, Nick never killed a deer, and...
On this property, you're saying...
On this property,
I'm slaying bucks.
On his side, what he likes to call it.
Buck, goose. That's what they call me.
Me and Frank are just laying them down over on our side of the field.
Yeah, if I shot everything that had horns on it, I probably would too.
So Nick gets tired of it. He comes to our side, and...
First hunt.
I'll say, yeah, he got this deer. All by himself. No help.
That's exactly
from
right.
Anybody.
I drug it out myself too.
Yeah, sure did.
Yep. But anyway, so, yeah. I didn't want to mess up Nick's hunt, so I'm walking the road down to my next spot. Guns unloaded, of course. And Nick's truck's parked there. And I see the passenger seat sticking straight up as normal. But I'm like, where the heck
is that driver's
seat?
I'll tell you what, it was in the back.
I walk up there, and mind you, it's like 7:30.
It is a lie. It was after 8.
Seat
still pretty early.
All the way back.
Okay, but if you understand how this property works, and you go back in history on this property, it was totally justifiable.
It's not justifiable.
We had the same outcome after the end of this hunt.
So I get up there. Nick is zonked in the front seat, leaned all the way back. I knock on the window. Nothing.
That is a lie.
Wait a little bit. Knock on the window again.
You were
sits up.
Literally lying.
No, it took 2 separate occasions of knocking.
How many knocks each time?
3.
That's a lie.
Pause.
Then a little bit harder. Knock, knock, knock. Nick sits up. I wave and smile at him. I'm like, I literally just got here. I'm like,
really?
I didn't say I literally just got there.
You didn't even.
But in Nick's defense, he can fall asleep in about 1.8 seconds, so he could have just gotten there.
Yeah. So anyway, back to Nick trying really hard and working at getting this bird with a
Okay, tell me, how often do we ever encounter birds within an hour after they fly down up there? We don't.
Yeah, we do quite often.
You were literally lying.
That's because you're always back at the truck.
11 o'clock.
I'm saying there's like that period in the morning that's slow. They fly down, the birds disappear. And when did I miss one at 11 o'clock in Clymer?
When my gun wasn't working and
not
malfunctioned.
Like 11?
Yes, it absolutely was.
Ugh.
And that time, you, and Frank were up there, and we kept jumping back and forth on the other side of the swamp because
I remember that.
We'd call and they'd gobble on the other side, so we'd jump to the other side.
Yeah, but that's later. I'm saying that.
Yeah,
Nick,
after 8 o'clock.
Yes.
Credibility shot, Nick.
There's that slow period in the morning that I took advantage of. Got a little nap in, and at the end of the day, you and me, our tags literally looked the same.
Yeah, but anyway, so I asked Nick, I'm like, did you hear anything this morning? Yeah, I heard one gobble. Did you call to it? No. I'm like, why?
Sounds like he made it up.
I heard it was too far. I'm like, Nick, there's leaves on the trees. If you can hear them, they're pretty close.
I heard a single gobble early on, and I never heard it again.
I think he's making shit up, Tom.
And you walked back to the truck. Didn't even try and pursue this bird. Yeah. So anyway,
No, because if I would have pursued that bird, I would have had to walk right by you.
no.
I'm starting to question if you even got out of the cabin with where this bird must have been.
I do recall you saying you heard me calling.
No, I didn't.
Probably
I heard two hens at the bottom of the hill.
Probably thought one was me.
Huh. Except you had two hens come up to you. I don't even think Tom left the cabin. That's what I'm thinking now.
I had to wake you up.
At the cabin, yeah, because you set your alarm.
Yeah.
We're getting way off topic here.
And this day before, I wake Nick up to go turkey hunting back in PA. He's all about it. 5 minutes later, I get a text saying, never mind. Go upstairs.
Never mind.
Nick's laying in bed.
Sometime we'll compare our turkey numbers. And
Yeah. But we don't have time for that right now.
yeah, of course we don't.
We'll talk about that later.
I just hunt the prime times, and if I don't feel like it's prime time, I'm not getting out there.
Right. So, yeah, that's what we got going on. We got beans, clover, chicory, brassica,
Hard change back to topic.
buckwheat, and, of course, there's always corn up there.
Yeah,
So
all
we
over.
got food source for all year round for them guys up there.
So one thing I do want to hit on is, now we've got all these food plots and stuff going up there, and I'm going to want to monitor, like what's coming in and out of these fields and whatnot, what times. And I just picked up a new trail camera.
Tell us about it, Nick.
It is the Lone Wolf Custom Gear undercover camera.
Okay, I didn't even know you bought it.
Yeah, I know. I'm just dropping this right now.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
surprising.
Yep, got it at the house. I should have brought it to show Frank, but I didn't.
Yeah, that's real kind of you.
Yeah, it is an awesome camera. Yep, Frank got it. So let's go over the features of this little number. First off, there's an app, free. You can download to your phone. I'm just going to pull it up right now so I can talk about it while we're going over it so I don't miss anything. Lone Wolf Undercover. So basically what you can do is you can add multiple cameras to it. So if you've got a couple undercover cameras, you can kind of keep them different, or like name them. So you can put them on like this is for this field or whatever, however you want to do it. It goes through, you can get maps, put on, like download it on there that shows, where the camera's at. And then you also have this feature called buck profiles. And basically what you can do is log each buck separately.
That's pretty sweet.
So you can basically, if you've got a buck that's showing up on several different cameras, you can pull them, put them into a different profile, name the buck, whatever you want to do. And this is all done like through Wi-Fi. So you just have to get within, I think, like 100 feet of the camera, and you can pick the camera or the pictures right off on your phone, which is
So it's
really,
not
really
like
cool.
the normal, like cellular
It's
cameras.
not a cell camera that sends it to you.
Okay.
So you don't have to worry about like paying for anything.
So it just picks up your phone when you get close.
Yeah, it
to
picks up like your Wi-Fi basically.
That's
It's like a
friggin'
Wi-Fi.
sick.
Yeah, it's awesome. So if you're,
What if you
in
don't
the,
have service, like at the cabin?
I think it's like a Bluetooth thing. So it's like just you have to be within a vicinity, like within 100 feet, I think is what it is. But so the way that works is if you've got this food plot or anywhere, you don't have to get right on top of where you're trying to locate. So if you say you sneak in and you want to go undercover, in bedding or something, you only got to make one trip in there, and then you can just get to the outskirts of it and pull the phone or pull the pictures off, put them into different profiles, however you want to do it. And then what also is really cool about it is it comes with like what they're calling the 360 leveling system. So basically it mounts to the tree, either in two different forms. Your standard strap that you would typically mount to a tree, or it actually has an attachment that you can screw the attachment to a tree, and then just snap it to that. So that's pretty cool. And it actually comes with the screws and like a little screwdriver that's in the back of it. So it's just all there. You don't need any extra tools. But then it's got like, it's on like a ball that is like on like a spring.
Kind of like a knuckle.
Yeah, kind of like a knuckle, and you can rotate it anyway. So if you're, it could be like a limb or a tree that's fallen, anything. can mount to it,
So you
rotate
don't have
it.
to stick 14 sticks behind your
Exactly.
camera.
You don't have to do that anymore. And what's cool is you can also look at what the camera's looking at live on your phone through the app. So there's no guesswork on like if your camera's positioned right or anything. You can literally have your phone and see exactly what the camera's seeing in live time and adjust it so it's perfect. You can do photos, videos, time lapse, or a mixture of photos and video.
Nice.
Shoots in it's like 1080p, and volume is incredible on it. So I'm super excited about using that for monitoring these fields this year.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun.
So if you guys are looking to get a new trail camera for this year, check that out because I'm really impressed with it. Looking good.
Well, one other thing I wanted to add. So this field, it's old hay field that we've been, we planting food plots and trees in and everything. Whatever we're not planting, we're just going to let it grow up all summer long and create that as, more bedding for the deer.
Mm-hmm.
So my plan is to have, hopefully it works out, the deer are going to be bedding in there, and that way, we're not going to walk through the field to get to the food plots. If we can skirt the wood line and stay hidden and get into our stand, I think we'll be pretty good not spooking deer that are bedded, just off of the food plots in the high hay and goldenrods and everything. So that's our plan up there. I hope it works out. Hopefully we can start getting some trail cam pics. I know in New York you're not allowed to put out feeders, but I just put out 3 feeders on the farm in Pennsylvania. I'm going to get some corn and cameras on those. So hopefully pretty soon here we'll be posting pictures of our target hit list bucks that...
Yeah, I've got a couple on camera already at our one piece.
Oh, I didn't even know you had your cameras out already.
I literally gave you a video.
You did. I
Yeah.
did know that. I actually posted that on our Insta.
No, you didn't.
Are you sure?
1000%.
Oh, I posted Owen Zimmer's.
Yeah.
Yep. We'll get that up there this week.
Will you?
I will.
I've been waiting. I've been anxiously watching Instagram, waiting for Nick to post this picture.
One time I sent Nick some pretty cool pictures to post, and he never did.
They did.
He's
post.
really terrible at running.
He's ter-
He posts
You know what?
just what he wants.
Don't even say what you're about to say because I don't want to do it.
It's the All About
Okay.
Nick show. That's what we got going on here.
I'm just gonna look right now and see when the last time I posted something of myself. If you're gonna talk stupid,
No,
it's all about me. So let's see.
yeah, it's all
Let's
about
just
what
check.
you want.
Let's check.
These were sweet pictures. Like the picture of Bigfoot walking through the woods?
We've gone over a dozen photos. So you're talking like
I'm pretty sure
2
the
weeks.
last one you posted had you in it.
I was in it, but you were definitely like the main attraction in the photo because it was like
How could I not?
So
But anyway,
honestly.
I sent Nick this awesome picture of me carrying a beaver out of the swamp. And I guess it just wasn't cool enough.
I texted you about that one and you didn't want me to post it.
No.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
We'll talk about it
Definitely
later.
didn't happen. But yeah, it was sweet, but it's a little late for that now. Maybe next beaver season.
It's always
But-
beaver season, Tom.
Okay. So food plots, Is there anything else before we wrap things up about preparation this year that you want to touch on? I mean, we've talked what we're doing food plot wise, cameras. I know obviously you're going to hang some stands. We touched on that a little bit, but I mean, is there anything else that you're doing around this time of year?
Besides prepping fields for planting and getting feeders out, that's about it. I mean, turkey season just ended, so I haven't really got into scouting so much yet. I was going to wait until after my plants and stuff were taken off a little bit, start doing some scouting. So yeah, it's a lot of work doing the whole food plot thing, so that's taking up a lot of my time right now. I don't have I mean, plus working 40 hours a week, I don't have a whole lot of extra time. So what extra time I do have is, food plot prep. So it's been keeping me busy.
Right on. So that's everything then, Tom. We've wrapped it up.
Beans, chicory, clover,
And short
buckwheat,
shorts.
brassica, radishes, buckwheat.
And short shorts.
Shorts, yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. So before we get out of here, before Nick tells you guys to get outside, I just want to remind you guys one more time, just make sure you go check out the Outdoors Greatest podcast with Hunter Klobucar. He's a good buddy of ours, and he's going to be producing some solid content.
Yeah,
so.
he nailed Tag and Brag for his first episode.
Yeah, no, it was good stuff.
That's sweet. So it was a really good episode. And if you watch it on YouTube, you can actually watch the video of him and the guy from Tag and Brag talking, which was a really cool effect. I like.
Yeah, so it's good podcast. And right after you listen to the Whitecat Outdoors podcast, you should definitely go check out the Outdoors Greatest podcast.
For sure. I want to thank everybody for tuning in for episode 24. Now that it's getting time to plant and get the your deer woods ready, tune in to, I think, episode 22. Owen Zimmer, he puts out a bunch of tips.
Yeah, it was 22.
About, getting your property ready. And if you're going to be getting your property ready, that means you have...
And one more thing before Nick tells you to get outside. I know a lot of you guys are going to be, getting your trail cameras out and everything. Don't be afraid to send in pictures of some nice bucks, and we'll post them up there for you. So
that's good.
Yeah, if you got a picture of a nice buck, shoot us a message on the gram. We love seeing them.
You good?
Yep.
All right, 1, 2, 3, get outside.